please.
David Carlin. Lynn Underwood Segley.
Here.
Charlie Holder.
Here.
Cy Cam Savorabon.
Here.
Jean Marie Napolitano.
Here.
Ellen Pinnock.
Here.
Stephanie Smythe.
Here.
There's a quorum present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, anyone signed up for the citizens forum?
Yes, Pete Rice.
Evening,
Mr. Rice.
here to report an embarrassment. Opened up my C-Click fix and saw a gross restroom down in King Park, and it was very bad. I complained, I took other pictures and sent a complaint in and got a embarrassing response. The response was, we're going to replace it in 2 years. I found that insulting at best. Find it hard to believe that with 2 big weekends and the whole summer here, that we have those restrooms and they haven't been touched other than new equipment put in them. They haven't been painted. Floors have holes in them. It's bad and it needs some attention.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Anybody else? That's it? Okay.
Motion to approve the consent calendar in its entirety with the exception of 5 and 1D.
My motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve Midtown Race Club LLC doing business as Surf Club Summer Party, 1 Perry Mill Wharf, August 15th, 2026, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do I have a second?
All right, we have a motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin?
I call upon the city clerk or IT, pull up on the big screen, please, a document which members of the city council received and which is public. Can I ask our friend to scroll down just a wee bit? Stop right there for the time being. Not sure everyone can see this, but I'm sure my colleagues have seen this via a letter from Friends of the Waterfront. This is the site. It's okay. This is the site plan originally approved by CRMC, but prior with the de facto approval of the city via the Technical Review Committee and via an agreement with the Friends of the Waterfront. Scroll to the next page, please, my friend. Here is another document which is similar to the first. I apologize, not everybody can see this the way that I saw it earlier, but it is a public document and we can get it to you. Can you scroll to the pictures, my friend? Thank you. Now sorry about that. Now my comments. I am not prepared to vote for this permit or vote for this request until these impediments and the overall issue of access to the waterfront is addressed. There were, still are, agreements in place via the parties that I mentioned. And if I do anything right here on this dais, I support the residents of the city of Newport and their needs. So I am sure there will be others from Friends of the Waterfront and perhaps beyond Friends of the Waterfront who would like to comment tonight. But I would suggest to my colleagues that you should deny this request until the Friends and CRMC and the city of Newport are satisfied that these impediments are no longer in place. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Is there any, oh yeah, Linda, want to come up?
Linda Stevenson, Dixon Street, President of Friends of the Waterfront. I do have a question that I need PK or someone, a representative, to clarify. The application asks for the street to be closed. Is that accurate? Your application, second page, is a street closure being requested? Yes.
That's probably a mistake now.
Okay.
We don't have a-
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Excuse me, Linda, I apologize. Mr. Chairman, may I?
Strong?
I think that's an appropriate question for the administration. Can the administration address, please, for the president of Friends of the Waterfront and for anybody here and anybody watching, what the actual application or what the actual permit request is asking for? Thank you.
I believe the applicant is here. The applicant is the one who submitted this application and should be heard from in terms of that issue.
I appreciate that very much, but with respect, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, we have an administration who advises the council and who answers questions to the council about what is on the agenda. I'm sure that the applicant has their version of what they're asking for, and I'm sure it's not too different from what the city might explain, but I think it's appropriate for the public to understand via an explanation from the administration, what is it that is being asked for?
I'll start just by saying it's for a party from 4 to 8 p.m. What additional information would you like to know?
As far as the street closure is concerned, that was just brought up at the podium. The application does indicate that they are requesting a street closure. However, no street name is listed, and I do not believe that there is a street within the venue that would require a closure. So that might need clarification from the applicant.
If I could just jump in here real quick. I suspect that the prior question that says live music DJ, that is left blank, that should be yes. And then is a street closure being requested? It would be no. I believe that's what happened in my.
Okay, how about we do this? Ms. Stevens, can we just call up Mr. Kilroy so we can explain that part and then we'll let you come up? Instead of us up here guessing on what's going on, let's just go right to the source.
Hello,
State your name and address, please.
Patrick Kilroy, 62 Bridge Street, Newport.
Can you just explain what the application is for, what the event is?
So we're just doing an event down there on the wharf. We're under construction right now. We're all well aware of it. It's been over budget. It's taking a lot longer than it should be. I just saw the pictures of the stuff that was in the right of way. I can assure you, and I've sent the video in. I don't know if it's made it to you guys yet, but a video at 6 o'clock this morning that the right of way is completely clear. There's no obstructions down there. We're doing our best. We are under construction. We are moving as fast as we can. No one in Newport's trying to pull a fast one on anyone. We're just having a little party down there. The street closure is news to me, right? It's probably the DJ thing. It's a simple party. We're trying to get the public down there, which is what everyone wants, the public down there on the water. We're just trying to, we're behind schedule. We just want this party to kind of showcase our face. I didn't think it was going to be this big a deal. Apologize. If you were down there today, I tried to contact the Friends of the Waterfront Room, couldn't get in touch with anyone. No one's met me down there. There's pictures, but no one will meet me down there to walk through it. So I'm trying.
Okay. Are there any questions, Mr. Kilroy? All
I
right,
think it's
Is it,
Councilor Segley?
Does the Friends of the Waterfront have your phone number and being able to contact you? And did they try to contact you?
No one's contacted me. I heard about this through my office today around noon time that there was gonna be an objection. Again, we thought we'd be open by now, again, with the delays and everything, it's taking longer. Normally, we wouldn't even ask for this, but just the way it worked out, but again, I'm an open book. I'm from Newport. No one wants waterfront access more than me, especially for the public. We need the public down there to stay in business. We're not trying to pull a fast one on anyone.
If we were to approve this with the contingency that you would take someone from the Friends of the Waterfront through just to show them what you've done, is that possible?
I'm an open book. They're down, can come down anytime.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin?
thank you. Can we now hear from the Friends of the Waterfront who brought this to the council's attention with an objection specifically stating that Friends of the Waterfront requests that this special use permit or that this permit not be approved by the council until the Friends of the Waterfront have a meeting with the owners of the property, if not with CRMC and the city administration. That is what I understand through the letter that was transmitted. It's a public letter to all members of the council. Can the Friends of the Waterfront representative, please explain if I have read something wrong?
Council Carlin, that's not your jurisdiction to be calling up people right now. That's my call. So I just want to make sure that anyone else on the council has any questions for Mr. Kilroy. Everyone's all set? Okay. Now we can continue on where we're at before. Thank you, Ms. Kilroy. Ms. Stevenson, will you please come up?
Okay. So I did not have any contact from anyone from Perry Mill since I sent Perry Mill an email on Monday, the same time I sent you the letter to the council. Due to ongoing issues with public access at Perry Mill, which we have monitors that have been monitoring the property, just like they monitor the waterfront every day, every week. People send in pictures, and I think we've been very tolerant and very patient, understanding they're under construction. However, since last September, they have been holding events there. They had the boat show there. They've had many private events, even 4th of July, the boat parade and Christmas, all paying events. So to say that, you know, the public's going down there, okay, the public's going down there, but they're paying, okay? That's a little different. The public has not had access to the dock out front. And most times, the parking lot has been obstructed or the pathway along the waterfront has been obstructed. Yes, I was there today. It was definitely improved. Obviously, they made an effort. I can see that. But there was still cords in the right-of-way. I have pictures of that from this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So it's not completely clear. We are asking City Council to deny the special event license unless the applicant agrees to meet with Friends of the Waterfront, city staff, and a member or members of the Waterfront Commission to address these issues in the next 30 days. I think that's a fair amount of time for everyone to coordinate their calendars and go through. We have had multiple conversations in the past. We were told back in September and before the summer of 23 that the path would be open. I'm sure they didn't anticipate the delays that they had, but here we are in 2026. So at some point, if they're making the effort to have the private events, they should be held accountable to also make the public access a priority. If developers are not held accountable to these agreements, it will set a very bad precedent for all of us. There are 2 projects along the waterfront currently that have approvals for development, Newport Harbor Hotel and Waits Wharf. Another one is in the works, Grand Banks Palm Beach, and very recently, another property was just sold along the waterfront. So we have 4 properties in play undergoing development, which could be fantastic for public access and for the city and tourists alike. But the city needs to ensure that the Harbor Walk that is stated in every city plan, the comprehensive land use plan, the harbor management plan, the tree and open space plan, all state the Harbor Walk as being a goal. And if it's not realized, if you don't start enforcing this, then those plans are not worth the paper they're written on. So we're requesting your support in this matter to just agree that there should be a meeting before the parties involved, before any special events are granted. Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Mr.
Council
Chair?
Smythe?
I'm just wondering what the impact would be. The date for this is August 15th, correct?
Mhm.
What the impact would be if this was pushed to the August 12th council meeting to be able to sort this out? Is that something that is?
The impact is going to be on them, not
Right.
on me. That's why I asked. But no, we can't, because it's a matter of the city solicitor's office and the waterfront commission and planning and zoning, all the parties involved in these agreements, that we're all on the same page. Because there is
Right.
no path
Ms.
right
Stevenson.
now through the parking lot. Sorry. That's what we're
No, I
asking.
just want to have a conversation.
Sorry,
between-
I'm
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's okay. Any other discussion on the council? Or any
Yes, Mr.
questions?
Chairman.
Council Carlin?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I think what the Friends of the Waterfront are asking for is quite reasonable. And I think this will be a fine event held by the applicants. There is a process within the city of Newport for an administrative approval absent a council meeting before the event is to be held. Am I correct, Deputy Manager Carullo?
That's correct.
I would suggest that the parties meet, as both parties are apparently willing to do, and we will then get an administrative approval should your meeting be granted, which again, I believe the applicant is willing to do.
Any other questions? One question, Ms. Stevenson. So in your letter to the council, did you state that we could allow, you were willing to us to allow the application contingent on a meeting? But you just mentioned that you
Yes.
asked us to deny the application.
If they don't
contingent on
agree to the meeting.
So if we approve the meeting, if we approve the application tonight on contingency that we meet, however many counselors, administration, we're good with that?
Yeah, with the parties that were listed on the,
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's more than fair.
Mr. Chair?
Council Smythe?
I just have a question on sort of logistics. Do we have to have a motion to include something in this that this is contingent upon a meeting happening to approve it?
We do.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Well, we haven't, we just discussed it, so
Right.
we haven't made the motion yet. so-
Right. Okay.
Well, he said yes already. I make a motion that we approve the Midtown Race Club Surf Club Summer Party with the understanding that there will be a meeting with city staff and council members prior to the event.
Second?
No,
What? Not council members, but
Yeah, I
certain,
mean,
with city staff, okay? Okay, thank you.
Second.
hold on, she's not finished yet.
That's it.
Did you say? friends?
Mr. Chairman,
And Friends of the Waterfront, right?
All right, we have a motion and a second discussion, Mr. Carlin?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Linda, well, the chairman already reprimanded me for addressing you without his permission, so may I ask the Friends of the Waterfront president a question?
We're in discussion, yes, sir.
Linda, is that condition acceptable to the Friends of the Waterfront?
yes,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Linda.
thanks.
All right. Any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion on the table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin?
might I impose upon my colleagues, and I'll make it in the form of a motion if need be. Can I move, please, one item from communications from the city manager to the next item on the agenda? That is to say, item number 17 from or under communications from the city manager. Do I have consensus from the council, or should I make that in the form of a motion?
Well, let's finish. We have one more consent calendar, which is the communication from Maureen Cronin. Let's
Certainly.
do that, and then
Certainly.
if the council, we can vote on it after. we
Most
do that.
appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to receive a communication from Maureen Cronin, Chair, Tree and Open Space Commission, expressing support of the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker Project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Council Smythe?
Yes, Maureen Cronin was not able.
We didn't vote. We didn't
I'm
vote.
sorry, hold on, I'm sorry, 1 second.
We didn't vote on the surf club, did we?
Yes, we
voted
did.
on the amendment. But we didn't vote on the, as amended. So motion to
Okay, yeah,
approve,
so motion.
motion to approve as amended.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Bennett.
Mr. Chairman,
Hold on, Council Smythe is
I'm sorry.
ready.
That's okay. The chair of the Tree and Open Space Commission, Maureen Cronin, was not able to be here tonight, but she, as the council liaison to the commission, she asked me to say a few words on this project since this project was ongoing when I was a commission member. And she just wanted to say that the Tree and Open Space is fully in support of this project. It has been a long time coming. A lot of work has gone into it, and they are looking forward to the creation of this Middle Passage project. So thank you for the Middle Passage for everything that you've done and for the work of the Tree and Open Space Commission.
Mr. Chair,
Council Segley?
would, does the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker Group have to come to the council to approve a design? I mean, I know that the Tree and Open Space Group did, but they need to come before the city council. Will there be a presentation for the council as to all of the dimensions and, you know, like a more detailed?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a communication coming up from them in a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin?
with the indulgence of the council, may I please move to the next item on the agenda under communications from the city manager, number 17, please. Not sure if you need a motion or by consensus we can do this.
Yeah, just make the motion and move it up.
Sure. I make said motion.
Second.
For a
We
second.
got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Council, action item 6659, the Director of Public Safety recommends that the City Council authorize the execution of a 3-year contract with Flock Group Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $375,000 to implement this multi-departmental program. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Council Carlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a constituent whose family has very generously offered to make a contribution toward the purchase of this well-needed item. This family has a history, colleagues and members of the public, of supporting items and all sorts of social, economic, and other issues, et cetera, that affect the city, not the least of which is help in purchasing the fireboat that Chief Donnelly is here, the fireboat that is used, probably overused, Chief, by the city of Newport and our department. This generous contribution is something, first of all, we should be very accepting of, proud of, thankful for. What I'd like to do is, first of all, get a small explanation from the administration and anybody from the public who would like to speak about this action item. But also, when the appropriate time comes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make an amendment, not to the substance of this communication, but to what we as a city do going forward. With that, can I ask for someone from the administration, perhaps the chief, the director of public safety, to explain what it is the council is dealing with here that will benefit the public? Not just our residents, mind you, of course, but anybody that visits 4 million a year, as I understand from your comments yesterday, Chief, visits the city of Newport. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan Duffy, Director of Public Safety and Chief of Police. The establishment of a strategically placed unmanned aerial system program transitions our current unmanned aerial systems from reactive tools to a central multi-agency infrastructure asset capable of semi-autonomous dispatch and remote teleoperation. I'll list 5 key ways that this program will benefit our citizens, our businesses, and our visitors. Number 1, public safety and situational awareness. The DFR, the Drone First Responder Program and Municipal Support Program model provides first on-scene aerial awareness, frequently arriving before ground units in under 90 seconds from the moment that the PD receives the call, providing continuous overhead perspective, significantly enhancing real-time situational awareness for responding personnel, allowing for better tactical decisions, de-escalation, and resource allocation. I should mention, as a recent event, looking back at the shooting this weekend, without going into any details on an active investigation, we do know from the timelines of the incident that had we been on scene within the time it takes this drone to get there, we would have arrived before the suspects had left the scene, and likely have had information in seconds from direct observation that took us hours to develop through interviews and investigation. Number 2, fire ground support and personal safety. On active fire scenes, the drone feed provides real-time thermal and visual intelligence directly to incident command. This allows commanders to track thermal hotspots, monitor smoke plumes, assess structural roof integrity, and identify hazards to safeguard the frontline firefighters. Number 3, harbor and maritime search and rescue. Newport's coastal geography presents unique emergency response challenges. The program directly supports the Harbor Master's Office to provide immediate aerial search and rescue support, thermal scanning for persons in the water, and overwatch during maritime distress calls. Number 4, municipal infrastructure inspections. Beyond emergency response, the program serves routine municipal needs. Automated flights will handle routine inspections of city-owned facilities, roofs, bridges, and historical structures, subsequently reducing staff labor hours while eliminating elevated fall hazards for city workers. And 5, coastline baseline mapping and FEMA disaster recovery. Pre-programmed flight paths will regularly generate high-resolution photographic documentation of Newport shoreline and critical infrastructure. Establishing these pre-disaster baseline images is crucial for storm readiness, as it provides exact comparative evidence required for expeditious processing and approval of FEMA disaster funds following any severe weather events. And lastly, and if you'll permit me to mention, our public-private funding partnership. To offset the fiscal impact of municipal taxpayers, the city has secured a committed financial contribution from a private donor specifically dedicated to assisting with the funding of this program. This partnership leverages private support to deliver state-of-the-art public safety technology while minimizing the net cost to the city's finances. And if it's okay with you, here to say a few words of support is our very generous donor and one of the city of Newport's finest citizens, Mr. Peter Kiernan, excuse me.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief Duffy.
Mr. Chairman,
Council Carlin.
welcome, Mr. Kiernan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's a privilege to be back. The last time I was here was over a fireboat. I know what you're thinking whenever Duffy and Kiernan and Donnelly get together. But we've been working on this for 6 or 8 months, and this is the right thing for Newport to do. It's good for the people of Newport. Selfishly, it's good for my kids and grandkids. Anticipate any questions about strings attached, there are none. You acknowledge the receipt of the designated gift, that's it. The same thing with the fireboat and the fireboat before and the mobile command unit. We've had this kind of partnership for decades. We do that because we love the city. Why? I'm a part-time resident, but I'm a full-time citizen. My wife and I believe in what the police and firefighters are doing. I think this is good for you. You know, Jean Marie and some others have been around long enough to recall this. I hope you'll accept the donation, the spirit which is intended, which is out of respect for all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
And if
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If the council will allow me, I'd also like to invite up Mr. Paul Bach who's from our vendor, Flock Safety, our proposed vendor, to kind of give an overview of an answer and probably answer some questions before they're asked, if that's all right with you.
Wouldn't mind.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, essentially okay with you if we could talk.
Oh, yeah,
then-
sure. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Hello. We have a slide deck for the DFR. Members of council, my name is Carl Bach. I'm a public affairs manager with Flock Safety. Thank you for the opportunity. Advance the slide to that DFR to talk about some cutting edge technology for public safety. And just keep going. It's about 6 or 7 in. And we'll go on. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, great. And this is perfect. Yeah. So DFR, drone as a first responder. As the chief mentioned, this is a multi-agency platform to respond in times of crisis when minutes and seconds really make a difference. This is the technology used across the country where the time to get a drone on site is faster than a patrol officer can turn on their patrol vehicle. Average time of 2 minutes, and as the police mentioned, when investigations involve life or death, this can make a difference in aiding an investigation and minimize harm. The system also helps clear calls for service without using the patrol vehicle to go in person. If the drone can observe the situation and determine that it was a false call or determine what resources are not required, it's also a time saver. Like I said, it reduces the response times, and also the drone as a first responder can locate subjects of interest and de-escalate. It doesn't require a high-speed chase in order to identify where a suspect vehicle has led, and it can be de-escalated and apprehended in a more secure way. Go ahead and advance the next slide. So some common questions about drones as first responders is when are they activated? They are not operating at all times. They are only deployed for a specific call for service. That could be a 911 call. That could be an emergency incident, as the chief mentioned, but they cannot be deployed until there's a specific call for service reason. The camera that's located on the drone does not record until it reaches the scene. It's flying blind to the ground, but once it reaches that scene, it does begin the recording. And all instances of this device being deployed are tracked, including the cause for incident, the flight pattern, the duration. And this is fully displayed on a public transparency portal, so the public can be aware of the policy, the incidents of where the drone was activated, the calls for service, and the results. Advance to the next slide. This also is on the transparency portal, so the public can see exactly the flight pattern in which the drone traveled. So they know if they're curious about if a drone was deployed, then they'd be able to see exactly the path. These are two examples out of California. It's kind of hard to see for the folks in the back. This was yesterday. The call for service was a missing person welfare check. The duration was a 15-minute flight. The second one here was a fire medical aid flights for 11 minutes. Again, these are built into the public transparency portal, so the public is well aware of every instance of the deployment of this. Go ahead and advance the next slide. There's no audio to this, but we can go ahead and click the play. This is the same place in California. This is actually a real incident. Actually, it's two put together of the drone being deployed for a fire, and a vehicle fire. So you can see the drone is on scene and it's able to respond minutes before other first responders to relay information that might be helpful responding to the incident, and observe the scene in case there was like a red truck that was leaving. If there's an investigation for the cause of the fire, that could be useful information for an arson investigation. The second piece there was a vehicle fire. So when 911 gets a dispatch for a fire, they might not know the exact incident or situational awareness. This adds to dispatch's ability to deploy resources that can help with community safety. There's another slide. Yeah. This one's a little hard to see, but this is an incident where there was a dispatch because a man threatened his girlfriend. The suspect fled on foot. The drone was able to respond and locate him for the police. It also was able to show that the suspect was armed, and that the suspect is actually attempting to bury the weapon in someone's yard. There's a dog here. The dog is fine. The dog does not seem bothered by this, but it is. But this is, this is a great example of how this technology can aid in the safety of responding officers, that they know this person was armed and that they have hidden a weapon and the weapon can be retrieved. That this person can be located quickly and safely. I think that's it for, I'll hand it back to the chief.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you. I'll open it up to any questions.
Thank you.
Council-
Thank you,
Council
Mr.
Bennett.
Chair. Chief Duffy, who controls the data? I know the gentleman said that it doesn't start recording until.
Certainly, the city owns the data.
Okay.
We own it, we control it. It goes into a cloud server that we access alone. And the company has never been hacked, and so it's safe and secure under our control.
Okay. And is this device shared with any other communities or municipalities?
No. Shared in what way? Like if
Well, I know, like, similar to some cameras that we have.
Oh, certainly.
Like MOUs.
No,
Yeah.
no, this is under our control. Similar to like our body worn cameras.
Yep.
When the officers in the street and they activate their cameras, all that video is under our control.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Council Carlin.
Chief, as I understand it, Newport will be on the forefront in the United States with regard to this type of technology, which is probably the technology of the future. And I know nothing like you do, or like the gentleman does, or like the Kiernans do, or like perhaps my council colleagues do, about what the impact could be.
Certainly.
But I'm not dumb. I know that this type of technology can prevent a lot of harm. Would you agree?
I do. This is, the biggest thing that this brings to police, fire, and harbors situational awareness. Time often in critical incidents is our enemy, and being able to go to move at 60 miles an hour as the crow flies to a scene gets you there much faster than our human assets can get there, especially during times of congestion. Where moving, going south from the police station in the city on a busy Saturday can be tough, which is why often our bicycle officers make it to scenes before the police cars do. And by using this asset, be able to get there even faster for situational awareness. Things like we have incidents in the harbor, which take even longer for assets to get to. This is similarly being able to get out to those areas and be able to locate people who are on, or are working on last breaths is important. So we know exactly where they are.
I have a question.
Last question, Chief. Thank you for that answer. Those who want to do harm to the United States of America or to the city of Newport or both, they might target or they might look to soft targets going forward, as opposed to what we have seen, as I am told and I agree with, in the very obvious terrorist attacks that the United States has suffered. Would you agree with that?
I do.
And this purchase will in fact help us a great deal with not eliminating, but dissuading those who want to do harm to the city of Newport once they understand that we have this technology from doing so. You agree, Chief?
Certainly. To go back and say, I can harp on this one particular point, which is situational awareness. Situational awareness and communication are the key to emergency response. And if we have an incident that unfolds, or in preventing an incident that unfolds due to reports of suspicious activity, being able to bring that situational awareness to our first responders, and being able to communicate to the field units, those who are responding and not there yet, is a game changer. And so that's why we're, under the umbrella of public safety, are very much in favor of getting a hold of this technology on behalf of the citizens and the visitors of Newport.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Chairman, let me repeat that I think this is a wonderful, wonderful purchase that the city can make. I do not think an amendment is needed based on the language, based on testimony we've heard. Mr. and Mrs. Kiernan, your city is in debt and owes you once again a great thank you. Chief?
Council
Mr.
Seigle?
Chair, I think that some of the attention that this has gotten is just by way of the company's name.
Certainly.
And so I would like you to differentiate between what people fear about flock cameras and what this is. This is, they're not the same. It's just that the company is called Flock, which
Certainly.
is.
It's a different mission. The reason why we chose to go with Flock is, one, the technology in our assessment is unparalleled. And two, that we do have LPR cameras from Flock, and that there is some synergy of work in terms of the software that helps us work with a little bit more efficiency. And so those were the particular reasons. And you're right. It's, I understand, and often it's from information that is misleading, and from people that don't know the intricacies of how the LPR system works versus, which brings some uneasiness. In this particular situation, it's a different mission, and this is not a flying license plate reader. It is to bring the situational awareness, the extra safety, the ability to communicate with our ground troops with the right information. That's what's bringing this. That's what's driving this.
And this would help in the harbor as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Council Smythe?
Thank you, Chief. I think this is a great idea, and thank you for all your help getting this to the city. Will there be information on the city's transparency portal that, in case any residents have concerns about what this does and their privacy, that they'll be able to?
Absolutely, which is another
Great.
reason why we were going with this vendor, is because they have already, with the other part of their business in terms of the LPR, they have they've come up with ways of being transparent. And so we are going to launch the transparency portal in terms of the UAS, which will show, as we had mentioned, flight paths, show the types of calls that it goes on, when it went out on a call. So if you had a question about, you saw something buzz overhead at a certain time, you can take a look and say, oh, that was the police department on a way to a fire, on a way to a harbor call, as opposed to, and now you know what it was that we are doing. There are also a number of restrictions in terms of Fourth Amendment, and that we are aware of them, and what is legal and what is not legal. And that is something that we are going to take into consideration in every mission.
Great. Thank you.
Council Palatano?
Yeah, Chief, is there a potential for the use of this drone or the responder in other communities? You talk about 50 miles. We're like a mile from Middletown and 4 miles from Portsmouth. If there's a real emergency, and I'm thinking fires, because there have been times when they've actually called in other communities.
Sure. Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
There is a limit to the area of operations for this technology, signal technology, that centers around the docking station
Okay,
And so it's limited it covers Newport, all right? We're going to get Newport covered, but beyond that, in very limited amount, could it move over into Middletown?
okay.
But it's not even enough to worth.
Thank you.
Any questions? Just a couple questions from you, Chief. Who is responsible for making the call when this drone goes out, and what particular types of calls?
Certainly, right now, we're trying not to recreate the wheel, right? We are looking at other agencies and what they use for thresholds and where they see the benefits. And so that is one way we're determining our list. And second, we're looking at what are the needs of Newport, right? And I think what we're doing is a little different than what a lot of places do, and we're also incorporating the sustainability portion of it, the coastal monitoring part of it, the infrastructure checks, and that portion of it. So it's that we don't see a lot in other places. I think we're at the forefront there in terms of protecting our infrastructure. And so that list of when it goes out is going to be pretty much based on need. But I want to make sure I mention this, it is based on need and it's not going to go out on patrol. We're not going to see the drone going up without a cause. If we decide that we're doing coastline photo documentation, then that's the cause. If it's a fire, suspicious person, then that's the cause it will go out to. But it just won't go up just to fly around. Other than in the initial days that we're getting our feet under us about this, and just in terms of testing and ensuring that the technology is working.
And then my other question is $375,000 price tag for one drone.
Sure. Well, it's not. It's
Well, the whole project.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
It includes all the infrastructure.
Yep.
It includes the training, all the training of all the staff. It includes all the upgrades, the use of the software, the transparency portal. All those things are part of it.
So for that price tag, and thank you again to the Kiernan family for a spectacular donation. Was there insurance on this thing?
Yeah, well, the insurance, yes, the insurance is the trust.
Because I could see, yeah, just in case, or some sort of warranty. I would hope. And then what's this thing works out great. What would stop us, and I don't know if Carl will be still there, but can we get multiple?
Well, we could if we find the need. We suspect, at looking at this, that we'll have the city covered. We're going to look at call volume. We're going to look at, hey, how many times have we had one mission going and a second mission comes in, and so we'll take a look at that over the months and time as we move forward. And if it determines that's something that's prudent, then we'll come back to you and discuss that. But as I stand here today, I think we're going to be covered with this single drone.
Fantastic.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you, Councilor Carlin.
a quick reminder, as you know, my colleagues know, but for the public's information, this was included in the fiscal 2027 city budget. We in fact budgeted the entire amount for the purchase of this drone. So this is not something which is a new expenditure. It has been accounted for. And I would also like to remind my friend, the mayor, that sure, many of these, if the chief decides that they are needed, so be it. But there's only one Kiernan family.
Correct. Correct.
Caution.
But he has children though. Well, I asked that question, and not to sound funny, but I don't want to see both the fire chief and police chief getting in a fight over who gets the drone first. But seriously, to that point, if there's two things going on at once, do we have?
We'll have to triage. Well,
Yeah,
as we
triage
stand
depending on what
today,
happens.
without the drone, we are a good public safety service, right? This is going to enhance things, right? Make us that much better. And I say good, I should have said excellent. Probably should have said the best. That's what it actually is. But we will triage. If there are two missions that are needed, with the only one drone, we'll triage and decide what is more life safety oriented, and that's the mission we're going to take.
And we just hope we don't get in that situation. It'll be even better.
Certainly, yeah.
All right, any other comments, questions? All right, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next, moving on to licenses and permits. Motion to approve a sidewalk cafe license renewal. The Nitro Bar Incorporated, doing business as the Nitro Bar, 2 Pond Avenue. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And just before we get into discussion, I just want to remind council that we are discussing a sidewalk cafe license renewal permit. All right. Do we have the owners of
Mr. Chairman,
Nitro with us tonight?
Mr. Chairman, can the council have an opportunity to opine first, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Councilor Carlin?
Might I once again call upon our friends in IT to pull up a communication, which is a public communication, received from the council. These are pictures that I, in fact, well, they were given to me. So motion to accept these pictures into the public record, please. I'll look for a second.
Second.
All right, motion and second for discussion. I'll make a motion. Can we only take pictures that have to do with a sidewalk cafe license for 2 Pond Avenue?
Well, I'm afraid, Mr. Chairman, with respect to that, well, first of all, if you're making a motion, I will yield until you get a second, and then I will discuss your motion.
Right,
Did
so
you make a motion?
I make the motion, yeah.
Second.
Yeah, motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Carlin?
the owner of the establishment seeking a sidewalk permit from us this evening is the owner of other establishments as well, one within the city of Newport. I think it entirely appropriate to bring into the context of this discussion what the applicant has done elsewhere regarding its operation.
Correct, but like I said, we are only discussing a sidewalk cafe license, which the city council gives. Zoning handles lines and things of that. There's no permit, no application for a line license. So I just don't want any confusion as to what we are discussing here tonight.
Well,
And then second, and then my second point is, again, like this picture, for instance, is nothing to do with sidewalk cafe license renewal at 2 Pond Avenue. So I don't want to have anything that's going to be put into dissuade or persuade anyone's.
Mr. Chairman, as I said, you are my friend. As I said earlier, you're my friend, but I must respectfully disagree. The context of the discussion this evening regarding what they are asking at the location, the corner of Marcus Wheatland and Pond, should certainly, if members of the council would like to discuss it, include questions about what happens outside their other location. If you disagree, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I made the motion to make sure we're only showing, we're accepting these photographs of the sidewalk cafe license permit. So there is a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The motion in the second originally was a motion that I made to have the council accept the pictures. And there
Right.
was a second, as I said. So I believe we should vote on that motion prior to any amended motion that you might offer.
Well, the amended motion is to your motion, so.
I would ask the legal counsel for advice on what should be voted on first.
The first motion made and seconded should be addressed first.
Thank you.
All right, so there's a motion to accept the pictures in for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, can I get a show of hands, please?
Yep, show of hands for the pictures being put in. 3. All those opposed? 3.
Might I ask our
Motion
friends from
died.
IT to forward to the last
motion
2
died.
pictures, please? That.
So we not,
Surely,
we're
Mr.
not
Chairman, you
accepting.
cannot
Well, we're not
oppose.
accepting. We're not.
Surely,
accepting
Mr. Chairman,
pictures.
you cannot oppose
We can
the
take.
picture, which
Counselor Carlin.
is a visual of the
Counselor
Pond
Carlin.
Street, West Broadway
Counselor Carlin.
location.
Counselor Carlin, we just decided we're not accepting the photographs.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. I asked for my colleagues to accept into the record the first 4 pictures that I provided. You voted that down
Okay.
by a 3-3 vote. There are 2 additional pictures which address very specifically the Nitro Bar location on the corner of Pond and West Broadway, or Marcus Wheatland Boulevard, if you will. If you don't wish to have those pictures entered into the record, fine. It's a disgrace, but so be it.
Okay. Well, again, these has nothing to do with the sidewalk cafe permit that we are discussing.
Mr. Chairman, how can that not have to do with the
Counselor Carlin,
sidewalk
Coun-
cafe?
Counselor
When
Carlin.
that is the location where we're still on the discussion, are we not? Where that is the location that the applicants are asking for the sidewalk cafe to be located.
No, it's not actually.
Your argument is absurd.
It's not. So, Counselor Carlin, that's enough. Okay,
Chairman,
hold
can we
on.
have order?
Point of order, please. So you're making a motion to add these more pictures in?
The last 2 pictures, yes.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Counsel Pinnick?
thank you. Is it possible to have the Nitro Bar representatives up because they're saying that this is not the side where the,
Yeah. I would agree. It's a application for the renewal. So the applicant should be going
Absolutely.
first on this
Mhm.
before the council starts its
Mhm.
debate.
That's what. yeah.
Certainly can ask.
So we have the owners.
Well,
please
I
come up.
think we're going to have to disagree on that.
Counsel Carlin, please come up.
I will. And I did.
Hello,
State your name and address, please.
Audrey Finocchiaro, 54 Gibbs Avenue, Newport.
Sam Lancaster, 54 Gibbs Ave, Newport.
Thank you.
Yes.
So can you just explain for your sidewalk application renewal permit, where the sidewalk tables are going?
Yeah, so this does not show where our sidewalk cafe is. This is the opposite side. Our sidewalk cafe is on the right side of this. So this doesn't show at all where our outdoor seating is or has been.
Mr. Chair,
Counsel Slegely?
have you or the city measured the sidewalk that is available for, residents to walk?
Yes, yeah, there's more than a 6-foot parameter around where our tables end and to the sidewalk.
Okay.
In addition to this, we have had this permit for over 6 years. This was just normally we renew it every single year, but it was a misstep on our end, so we're just looking to.
Right. I was just going to ask you, I was going to say that you've had this before. Have there been issues with it in the past?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Counsel Carlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Clerk, can you please read for the public and for the council who has already received it, the letter from Ms. Bourbonniere regarding disability access surrounding the area in question? Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I
Yeah,
have a
yes, come
question
up.
for the clerk. I asked if she could read it. I believe I have the floor.
And
So
that-
I would like that letter read first.
Yeah, well, you can wait until he's finished because.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
Oh, that's fine.
Mr. Chairman, I appeal the ruling of the chair.
All right. All those in favor of allowing this gentleman to come up and speak, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Ayes have it.
Good evening. My name is AJ Pisano and I live on Warner Street, 2 blocks from Nitro Bar. When I bought my home, Nitro Bar was the reason I was excited to join this neighborhood. Sam and Audrey didn't just open a coffee shop. They created a gathering place. They invested in the community, made Broadway more vibrant, and built an atmosphere that makes people want to spend time here. I want to be clear about one thing first, because I think at the heart of this issue is the outdoor seating permit has nothing to do with the line that sometimes forms outside of Nitro Bar. The line forms on the Broadway side of the building. The outdoor seating is on the Pond Avenue side. These are two separate issues, and revoking the permit would not move that line by a single foot. Sam and Audrey have taken measurable steps to improve customer flow, reduce improper parking, and minimize inconveniences for the neighbors. They have been responsive and proactive every step. On the Pond Avenue side, the physical constraints are simply what they are. The sidewalk width and proximity of the neighboring house leave very few options for anyone suggesting the line be moved to the Pond Avenue side. Instead, I would ask them to stand there and walk us through how that would actually work. I don't believe there's a practical alternative. Frankly, I find it disappointing we're having this conversation at all. Nitro Bar has brought life, energy, and customers to Broadway. It has helped neighboring businesses, made the area more desirable, and I have no doubt it has put a positive effect on property values. Instead of revoking a permit for a small business that has invested this much in Newport, the city should be thanking them. They've helped drive our local economy, created jobs, attracted visitors, and paved the way for more independent businesses to invest and thrive on Broadway. I hope the council can find a reasonable solution that balances accessibility with common sense. Businesses like Nitro Bar are exactly what we should be supporting, not making it harder for them to succeed. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Collin?
I apologize. I apparently got it wrong. Thank you, owners of the Nitro Bar, for making it difficult for our physically disabled residents of Pond Avenue and elsewhere to access the surrounding area. I apparently, as I said, got that wrong. I go back to the request for the clerk to read, please, the letter from our disability advocate, Ms. Bouvernier, regarding this request.
Dear council members, I am writing to oppose this application. There is public housing on Pond Avenue, specifically for seniors and persons with disabilities, including wheelchair users. Nitro Bar is situated between this housing on Pond Avenue and the Martin Luther King Center, where residents of this housing go for food services and other activities. When the sidewalk is blocked, residents who are wheelchair users need to cross the street to get by Nitro Bar and then cross again to get to the Martin Luther King Center. Over the past few weeks, we have complained to the city manager's office, and his office has sent representatives from the city engineer's office, if I remember correctly, to address it. At first, Nitro Bar said they had no idea that people in wheelchairs could not pass. The second time, enforcement action was begun. The third time had similar results. Now, we find that they are applying for a permit to have this sidewalk cafe. If they have not been able to comply with giving appropriate space to people with disabilities up until now, what difference would such a permit make? Blocking the sidewalk impedes access for wheelchair users, city residents who may be blind or visually impaired, and residents with other mobility disabilities. I recommend they prove they can comply before they are granted such a permit. Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully, Annette Bouvernier.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Chairman, question for the administration, please. Deputy Manager Carullo, does the Nitro Bar have permission from the city of Newport to erect stanchions at the location that we are currently debating?
When the issue of the lines first came up, that was a recommendation from our deputy zoning officer to create a line or separate the line from the public sidewalk.
Was a permit issued
No,
to them?
no.
The answer is no, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
To the owners, have you spoken with Ms. Bouvernier?
No, we have not.
Have you spoken to anyone that has come to you about any access issues?
No, and we've been granted access for the sidewalk permit with the 6-foot clearance around the end of the table for the past 5 years.
Mr. Chair?
Councilor Smythe? Yeah.
I also connected with a few neighbors who live on Pond Avenue just to see if there's any impact. You know, I know that your establishment is fantastic and people absolutely love it. And I think that's wonderful for our small businesses. But I also do think that we need to be cognizant of the individuals that need to get around Newport. So hopefully this provides you some additional information that you can use to help accommodate. one of the things that was said in the communication to me was that the tables and chairs on the pond side of the sidewalk are borderline blocking the sidewalk, and I wouldn't want to be a wheelchair or stroller. For the most part, you can get through, but when folks sit with dogs or strollers in the sidewalk, it's a challenge and you tend to lead people to have to cross the street to go around it. But I'm also wondering, it was said that at times you have a cart that is on the same section of the sidewalk. How is that going to attribute to the concerns of council?
Yeah, we had the cart running for 2 weeks, and that was genuinely to help locals get access to getting coffee from us. And then we got an email from the city saying to take it away, so we took away the cart. And we're sort of didn't fully understand putting out the cart that wasn't allowed. And then once we found out, we're like, pull the cart, don't have the cart out. So that is no longer out.
Okay, and now is there's a driveway on the other side?
Yeah.
Is that an area that maybe the tables can go, or was that ever an option that you considered?
Yeah, we would love to. The building is privately owned, not by us, and the landlord does not want us to have tables out there because he wants his tenants to be able to park there.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Council Segley.
I drive by this every day, and there is room on that where that sidewalk cafe would be, and it has been. I mean, it's proven. The other issues, which I don't want to get into, but we're having the city work on it, and I think we can come out with a solution. And I think we just need to move forward with this vote. So, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
We want to work with the city. We want to be in compliance. So
Yeah, anything that we can do to sort of help be more wheelchair accessible, we would love to. And that is a big part of our community. And we do not want to deter anyone from feeling like they can come into the Nitro Bar.
and if that means removing those stanchions and putting down tape.
We'll go and do that tonight.
And Mr. Chair, I just want to make one comment. These lines are not filled with tourists. These lines are filled with residents. And these tables are used by residents. So I just want to make that clear that these are people who live here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Newport is a tourist city, but we have so many locals that join us at our shops that we're super grateful for. The local support in the community.
Thank you.
Mr.
Councilman
Chairman?
Napolitano.
Yes. I applaud you on your success.
Thank you.
However,
Yeah.
how would this particular setup help to ease the flow of traffic there? I can tell you every single Sunday as I go by, sometimes I can't even get through because people are walking across the street. They don't, it's a really small section. Then you have cars parked on both sides. It is ridiculous. How would this facilitate or help the situation? How would this, having the outdoor?
I honestly think without it, we're going to get, which I've already seen, more people accumulating in that area. Without seating, you could have 30 people.
You easily have 30 people.
Right. So the seating sort of makes it so it's limited. You can't have 30 people sat in that little corner. I think the seating will help limit actually the flow of humans and how far out we are into the sidewalk. We've also implemented a new host that works every single day from 7 to 4, that their sole job is basically helping the line and the flow and making sure that there's accessibility and space and the sidewalks are clear and the tables are clear. That's something we've just implemented in the last 2 weeks. So we've seen a great response from that. But yeah, we're also open to any feedback that anyone has on other solutions. More than happy to try those.
Mr. Chair.
I'll spin it.
Thank you. First, I just want to say thank you very much for the life that you bring to our community. I live in First Ward, but I often see the business that your coffee shop brings in. Also, thank you for your activism for marginalized lives in this community. I think that's an important part of your story as well, and it is appreciated. So I do believe wholeheartedly that you will do everything and anything you can to help those who are feeling hindered by the lines not feel that way. You do have some touristy kind of following. I follow your TikTok, so I know that people come from all over to frequent. That's right. So, that being said, I think that you have an amazing business. I think that you've been really good residents, citizens, and business owners in this community. It's not going to be without some complaint and concern. That's just a fact. When you own and operate a business in a small community like ours. So I do hope that this can be resolved. And I do believe that you will try to resolve it between yourselves and the residents that are feeling impacted. So I do appreciate what you've done for our community. And I hope you walk away feeling that you've contributed greatly and that, you're doing the best that you can, but.
That is so kind.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you so much. That was very sweet. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor Garland.
I thank Councilor Pinnock for those remarks and Councilor Smythe for her remarks. And I thank the owners of the Nitro Bar for your willingness, just paraphrasing, to do anything that you need to in order to satisfy folks. I would certainly not be in opposition to granting this permit, provided that you meet with our disability advocate, the residents of the Newport Housing Authority Pond Avenue location, and frankly, folks that, including those who use the area to access ultimately the Martin Luther King Center for daily needs, including nutrition. So I don't think we're in too much of a rush to provide a yes on that. Having said what I said, provided you take those ropes down in my ward or in the third ward, which are also impeding, I would have no problem once you all meet with who I said, approving this. But until then, I would suggest we continue this item. And I will make a formal motion to continue this item. And I ask for a second for the reasons that I mentioned.
Second?
Motion and second, any discussion? I don't see a reason to continue this. They've for 6+ years have had these sidewalk tables, which we are talking about again on Pond Avenue, 4 tables, I believe, from the diagram. So I don't see the reason to continue this. I think, in my opinion, the owners have showed they've been very hospitable neighbors. They've done a lot for the community. And I would agree. I mean, I would imagine you can tell me right now that you're willing to work with anyone that we ask you to work for.
Yeah.
So there's no need to continue this any further. So,
Mr. Chairman, I think you're doing a bit of a disservice to the owners. Perhaps the vote.
all right, let's take I'll call a vote to continue this motion. So all those in favor of
Mr. Chairman,
continuing,
if
say
you are
aye.
calling a vote, you need a second and you need a council vote to bring the vote forward.
I call the vote.
Second.
Motion is second.
I have, on the motion, please, Mr. Chairman, I have more to say. I won't be long, but I have more to say. I would urge my colleagues to vote against the motion to vote immediately. Allow one more minute of debate, please.
This is on the continuation.
Allow one, no, it is not.
Yeah,
Allow one more minute
this is
of
on the
debate,
continuation.
please.
We're voting on the continuation.
You called the vote.
For the continuation.
Correct. And so I am saying, allow one more moment or one
No,
more
what-
minute to debate it, please.
All right, we have a motion to call the vote on the continuation, right? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
And I have a show of hands, please, as to the ayes and the nays.
This is a call to continue, to whether or not to continue.
A motion to continue.
Yes, so, okay.
The chairman, if I understand this correctly, Mr. Chairman, based on my motion to continue this, the reasons I described, you said, no, we should not continue this. and you asked for essentially an immediate vote on the continuance request. I argued that I needed one more minute to continue the argument. So your question of whether we should immediately vote on the continuance is what is on the table now. I would suggest that we allow one more minute. The vote is, as you said, properly before us with a second, but I would urge a no vote on calling the question immediately. It just gives us another minute or
The
so to
motion is
discuss.
not debatable. The motion to end debate.
Right.
That is, I completely and totally
You may,
disagree with
Mr.
the
Collins,
solicitor.
Fine, but that's my opinion.
Thank
I've
you for
given the
dismissing
advice.
me, Mr.
I've
Bean.
given the advice that it's not debatable.
I believe it is
All
a
right, all right,
debatable
Council
motion.
Council Carlin, that's
Allow
enough.
the vote.
I don't know. What are we voting on?
Mr.
We are
Chair.
voting on to continue this motion.
Okay.
All those in favor of continuing this, please raise your right hand. Although,
Mr. Chairman, with due respect, point of order, the motion is not before us, is not a motion to continue the item. The motion is whether we should stop debate on the question of the continuance.
That is correct.
okay,
So once you end debate, you still have the motion.
right.
After that, you have the end of the debate on the motion to continue, and then you have the vote
All right.
on the question before the council.
So all those in favor of ending the debate on the continuation, raise your right hand. Right.
No.
So now we have the continuation.
Mr. Chairman,
No,
on the,
no, No, you just ended the debate
This
on
is
the motion to
ridiculous,
continue.
Council Collin.
Right.
You're being
I'm sorry.
So you take a vote on the continuation now.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
All
on the
those in
continuation
favor,
motion.
all those in favor of continuing this motion, raise your right hand. All those opposed, raise your right hand.
Mr. Chairman, on the motion,
Continuation fails.
or on, I should say,
Now we're
on the item.
on the item.
I would suggest that my colleagues vote against this for the reasons that I've spelled out. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Council Pinnick.
sorry, Solicitor Bean. I just want to make sure we are now actually voting on whether or not to proceed with giving them the license.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, all those in favor of granting the sidewalk license, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? Just
Mr.
remember.
Chairman, can I just suggest that you do speak with the person from the
Absolutely. Yes.
disability?
Yeah, I
We'd
would
be
love-
happy to give you her
Yes,
phone
please.
number.
We would love nothing more to be connected and make sure that we are as accessible as possible. And that is something that's incredibly important to both of us. So we would love to. do
Sure.
that. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all so much.
All right, next up is appointments of boards and commissions. For appointments as council liaison to Conexión Latina Newport. I make a motion that we, or I am appointing Ellen Pinnock. May I have a second? We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are putting together an ad hoc resiliency and sustainability fund steering committee. This is a 9-month term expiring April 22nd, 2027. There are 7 members or 7 individuals that are going to be appointed to this steering committee. First is Tyler Bernardin. Second is Mary Ellen Atkins. Third is Caroline Richards. Fourth is Thomas Gibson Jr. Fifth is Allie Oakley. Sixth is Thomas Tobin. And 7th is Casey Tremper.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
For reappointments to the Juvenile Hearing Board, Tracy Shea, 3-year term expiring 11/17/2028.
Second?
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, next is communications.
Next, under communications, a motion to, this is a memorandum. So are we making a motion to approve or just to receive this memorandum? But it's coming with an accompanying resolution, so.
Second.
Well, what are we doing? Okay, so memorandum from the city solicitor concerning Abraham Toro and Judah Toro funds with accompanying resolutions. Do I have a second?
Second.
Well, yeah.
But, well, that's what I'm saying. Is it motion to approve or is it motion to receive?
Okay. If it makes it easier, you can receive the memorandum and then address each resolution separately.
Okay. Okay, so motion to receive.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now the first
No.
resolution, do you want me to read the
Okay,
resolve?
yes, you want me to read the
And the-
resolves? Yes.
If you would like.
Okay. Resolved that the city council apply to the general treasurer to draw the sum of 4.5% of the value of the Abraham Toro Fund valued on March 31st, 2024 for the 2025 year, and 4.5% of the funds of the Abraham Toro Fund valued on March 31st, 2025 for the 2026 year. Should I continue?
You don't,
And-
well, you don't have to. I can address
Okay.
the resolution now.
Okay, okay.
But I am going to ask the council in the second resolve for the resolution for the Abraham Toro fund. In that second resolve, on the third line after the words needed repairs,
Mhm.
we're asking the inclusion of the language or other purposes lawful under section 35-9-1.
Under 35, say that again, under which section?
It says after the words for needed repairs, and then insert the words or other purposes lawful under section 35-9-1.
Okay, thank you. So do you want me to make that motion?
Please.
Okay. Resolve that any money actually drawn on such fund and actually paid by the general treasurer for the above years may be paid over to the Shahira Israel to be used for the needed repairs or other purposes lawful under section 35-9-1 to the Toro Synagogue with the expectation that a detailed report of all expenditures be provided to the city council.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So on the resolution, I'll give a little background on this resolution. I believe the council, just for the benefit of the council and the public. So this fund actually dates back to a bequest, which is, believe it or not, was made back near 1823. And then this fund has been bodied in section 35-19-1 of the general laws of Rhode Island. And the actual monies now are being held by the general treasurer. And it's for the benefit of Toro Synagogue, the adjacent cemetery, and the community building. So what the legislation does, it puts a duty on the city council to cause repairs to be made that the council believes are necessary and proper. And that formula we had, the statute allows up to 4.5% of the value of the fund in any given year to be distributed. So why is it before the council now and not in previous years? Well, before 1995, it probably was. But in 1995, there was certain legislation, well, it's still in the act, but as you're aware, there's been litigation between the New York congregation and also the local congregation. And through this litigation, the New York congregation has been found to be the owner and entitled to possession of the synagogue. And prior to, from 1995 on, previously, the local congregation had the ability to go to the general treasurer directly to get the money. Now, based on a recent ruling of the Superior Court, the judge found that the only entity that can draw on these funds and expend them are the city council of the city of Newport. So you guys are basically a trustee and the money there is in trust. So with that said, you're not going to be, the council isn't going to be out there inspecting the property and making sure the repairs are done and directly involved in the payment. So what this allows is the payment to Congregation Sheriff Israel to receive the money and make those repairs and pay for it, and they'll account to the council for those repairs. So that's the whole gist of this resolution, and you can expect to see a resolution like this in the coming years also. So they can get the money. I think there's somewhat of $3 to $4 million in this trust fund. So the money would allow these repairs and updates and payment of fees that are allowed under the statute.
Any questions?
Yes,
Councilman
I'd like
Palatano?
to ask the solicitor, who determines what repairs are necessary or done? Certainly, the cemetery behind Toro, the graveyard, needs a tremendous amount of work.
Well, what you've received from the New York congregation, a report of a architect showing that extensive repairs are needed for the Toro Synagogue itself.
The building itself.
Which would
Okay.
probably, the money that they're expected to get from this resolution, once you draw on that money, it isn't going to be enough. So at some point, I would imagine that in the coming years, each year, they're going to report back to you what they used the money for. And
Okay,
in coming years, I'm sure they'll be up here presenting you with other plans for the money. So
okay.
you are the ones who make that determination, but you're using this congregation as the tool to get all of this done.
Okay.
And they're the more appropriate
Thank you.
body to do that, I would say.
Mr. Chair,
Council Bennett?
thank you. Solicitor Bien, how is this dispersed? Is it like a lump sum payment, or will they be coming as their needs
It will
progress?
be a lump sum.
Okay,
We'll pay it over to them, and then they will have to, they're gonna need money in the coming year. I mean, next year too.
right.
I mean, I believe there's been some figures of some, the repairs in the couple of $1 million worth of work that needs to be done. And that's probably just to the synagogue. And then you got the cemetery and the community building. So with that said, they're going to be telling you throughout that they have to, by the resolution, they have to come back to account for, this is what we spent the money on. So in future years, I'm sure they're going to tell you, hey, this is what we need it for.
Okay, but the accountability part is on our city staff, like on our finance department?
No,
No,
it'll be on you.
I meant like, so as far as the reconciliation goes, so as they're turning in documentation for their expenditures, that comes to the city?
Yeah, we would put that, it would be a communication to go before the council. It would go on the docket.
Okay,
So it would be a report to you, but would be received by the staff, the administration. Now, we're going to take up the second resolution. That one's a little different. So I'll get to that where we actually hold the money on that one.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're voting on the first resolution.
Yes.
Any other discussion on the first resolution? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
So the second resolution deals with the Judah Toro Fund. And that's actually money held in trust by the city of Newport.
Do we need to resolve or anything
I
on
did,
the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
on the second one?
Didn't I read it?
No, that was the first one.
Oh, but, okay, I'll read it again. Motion to approve the following resolve, that any money actually drawn on such fund and actually paid by the general treasurer for the above years may be paid over to the Shahir Israel to be used only for the needed repairs or the purposes lawful under section 35-9-1. Am I right?
No, that's
That's the
you have
first,
to go to the
That's the
second
first.
resolution.
second resolution.
Ow, I'm sorry. Okay, yep, you're right. Okay, got it. That the city council authorizes a draw of the amount of 4% of the value of the Judah Torah Fund based on an average value over a 3-year period as determined by the Finance Department for fiscal year 2027, and resolve that said funds may be paid over to Shahir Israel to be used only for the purposes set forth in the trust established in 35-9-2 as set forth above, with the expectation that a detailed report of all expenditures be provided to the city council by Shahir Israel, and resolve that the mayor is authorized to sign any and all documents required in order to effectuate such draws and distributions.
Second.
Motion and second.
So this deals with what's known as the Judah Toro Fund. And it's a bequest of money. This was made to the city of Newport. We hold it in trust. And it provides money for a minister to officiate at the synagogue and to keep in repair and embellishment the cemetery. So the money, there's a lot less in this trust. So the amount of money that would be dispersed based on the recommendation from the finance department is going to be a lot less compared to the Abraham Thorough Fund. But we're using a standard that we use for all of our trust distributions. So whenever we have any discretion, finance has a set standard, and that's contained in that resolve for that resolution.
All right, any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Councilor
thank you.
Garland?
Does the Judah Toro Resolution and the Abraham Toro Resolution contain the same language with respect to, toward the end of the resolution, and for any other lawful purposes under the statute? In other words, there's a difference in the two resolutions.
Right.
Is there a reason?
Yeah.
In which one?
It appears as though the Judah Toro Resolution is the one that
Yeah.
contains the language and for any other lawful purposes under the statute, whereas the Abraham Toro Resolution does not include that language. And I'm
Yeah,
curious
just-
as to why.
Well, they're two separate sections, and it's just a draftsmanship. In other words, it's still referring to the general laws that establish the Judah Toro Fund.
Did the now overseers of the synagogue or their attorneys request that we have both resolutions mirror each other language-wise? In particular, did they reach out to the city and ask that, and for any other lawful purposes under the statute, be included in both the Judah and Abraham resolutions?
The request was made for Abraham for that amendment that I made. So,
So the language is in fact inclusive.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garland?
So it is in fact included, or something
Yeah.
extraordinarily close to, and for any other lawful purposes under the statute.
Yes,
It will do the same thing effectively.
yes.
Thank you.
I think the Abraham Toro Fund was more, it had specific purposes set forth. And there was a concern by the congregation that they might only be limited to to that use of the funds. So we added that language at their request to allow for, to spend on any lawful purposes under the statute. So that's why there's only an amendment in one of them.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So,
Next, communication from Marion Royer, DMD, Captain DC USN, retired, supporting improvement in fluoridation for Newport water. Do I have a second? to-
Second.
motion is second, any discussion? Ms. Roy, how are you today?
Very well, thanks. Do you want me to say anything?
Please, go,
or-
yeah, go ahead, you can make a
Yes.
presentation.
I'm a general dentist. I've been a dentist for 46 years. I live at 428 Gibbs Ave, Unit 5. Dr. Schwechtenbaum just left. He had to catch the bus back to Providence, but we served on the dental board together. And he just completed 12 years as the dental director of the Department of Health. He's still teaching at Brown. We both still work for CareLink. We come to Village House in St. Clair's and do dental care. And we really feel that there's a need for optimal fluoridation of water for everybody. And I feel very strongly about doing what I can to make that happen in this city. So we're asking for your support just to apply for grants. We realize 3 years ago, we met with the mayor and we've been communicating with Mr. Schultz, but we need just your support so that we can apply for grants to make this happen, because there needs to be an upgrade to the system with the fluoridation. I do realize there's a lot going on with our water system, and I don't want to raise the bills anymore, but we want to apply for some grants to make that happen, because it's something that everybody will benefit from. I'm the school dentist in Newport and Portsmouth too. So I see that at both ends of the spectrum.
Any questions?
I would support that.
Right. All right. All's in favor of this communication, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Very well. Thank you
Doctor.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, a motion to receive a communication from Stephen White concerning requests for review of the Newport Middle Passage Port Marker projects.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Mr. White, how are you tonight? Ricky, go ahead.
20 Old Beach Road, Newport. Mrs. Johnson would like to join us. We're requesting approval for the design of the Newport Middle Passage Memorial. We have submitted some digital images, and we have a model that we look forward to bringing into the table. I know we need to hold it for about 10 minutes overall. And so that's why I appreciate it. Mrs. J?
Thank you so very much. And I'm just going to say a few words and allow Mr. Bonder and Mr. White. Are you going to bring the diagram in? Going to bring okay, bring them in. You know, I'm happy. You know, I'm pleased. You know, I'm excited. Absolutely. To the limit. Because our team has really investigated a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I need to tell you that the expertise that is on this team is so admirable. These people, you sit down and you listen to their plans and you say, that's a purpose. We know what the purpose is. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they do. And that's why we are back here today. We have with us Julian Bonder, and he did the Nantes slave trade in France. And they have millions of people that have gone through that actual memorial. And you know what? Newport's going to have millions of people come to Newport, not only for the memorial for African Americans, but also for the Morton Lyman Hazard House or the Edward Kane Martha Wallace Center for Black History. And we do have here tonight, and I want to recognize her, and that is Kier Borst-Gomes, sitting over there. We worked in alliance with her. And when we presented these plans, we presented them to Tree and Open Space, and we presented them to the Port Sculpture Committee. And when we left, you could see the smiles on everybody's faces, the admiration that they had for our courage and for our insistence to continue to make sure that African Americans in the city of Newport are honored. The piece that I love the most, and I love the memorial, especially the illuminating part at night when it's going to light up the sky. The other piece I like the most is what we call the it's going to be like as long as the traffic light, from traffic light to traffic light on the square, on the not the square, on the memorial. And it's a panel that's going to be that long, and on that panel other organizations will be able to put their history down, or people can put ads in, come see us. We are part of Newport. And we think that's a very important added piece to our memorial for the visitors that come here, because we'll probably be the first memorial to direct people to other organizations so they can learn more about Newport and its history. So here we go. They brought it in time. Finish, and I am finished. But I am now telling you that our top priority, and it will happen, is our support campaign, our capital campaign. We're going full force by September. So be ready to get an invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to clarify a couple of points before turning it over to the designer, Julian Bonder. We so appreciate working with the city, Colin Kennedy, city manager, Bill Riccio, director of public services, Maureen Cronin, chair of the Tree and Open Space Commission, and Scott Wheeler. We secured the site as outlined in the material that we submitted. I just wanted to say that to the group here. And received site approval last year in May, which we appreciate from the council. We've worked since last summer to develop the design that's presented here. And an important idea with our fundraising is the fundraising is not only for the capital expenses, but it is for a maintenance fund. We are committed to a maintenance fund to support the ongoing maintenance of the space. And we look forward to roughly a next step of working with RIDOT on construction and design and construction review with RIDOT is next. And we expect a year to 15-month overall construction. And so Julian Bonder is the designer. He is the architect for the memorial to the abolition of slavery in Nantes in France. It's a site that's visited by more than 2 million people so far. Julian Bonder, please join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here before you and before colleagues here, and it's an honor to have joined for so many years the efforts of our dear friends, that are trying to get this project in Newport moving. Now, I have lots of images that probably you've seen, on the deck. There's a slide deck, and we'll just go very quickly, but I'd like to start by saying or by asking a question. It's difficult for me because I'm also a professor of architecture, at Roger Williams University for more than, many years, So it's like 27 years as professor here in Rhode Island. And I'm interested in understanding how we move forward with our commemorative processes and how do we think about memory in public space. Now, I'd like to invite all of us again, if we can, for just 5 seconds to locate in your mind a significant event in your life, something that is important. Just stay 5 seconds, some celebration or something, stay there for 5 seconds. Now, as you see that event, look in your mind's eye the space in which that event took place. 5 seconds. Now, what you've done is a short act of memory. Memory is not an object. Memory is an action. It's a way of thinking about something that happened, perhaps to us. But when we think about public space and when we think about the history and commemorating, the kind of Middle Passage, is a story that is told, but is a story that may be felt, but not specifically, because it may have happened a long time ago. And that's one of the reasons that we create memorials and public spaces. Can we go quickly through the images? I'll just keep going. So we honor, no, sorry, a bit slower. So we honor the lives of captive Africans who perished in the Middle Passage journey and the slave trade, and to celebrate the economic and cultural contributions and survivors of descendants who built Newport and America. This is an extremely important idea. This is the mission statement from the Middle Passage group in Newport. Let's keep going. Keep going. This is just, keep going that, and now we see that this has to do with the kind of all the seacoast, all along the shore of the Atlantic Ocean. Keep going and you'll see markers in everything. And when Miss J and the team asked me to say, what can we do here? And we said, well, of course we can put a plaque. But there was something else happening in Newport and in Rhode Island as a way of commemorating and thinking. And that's where it started. Let's keep going. Unmarked sites, we see all the research, and we keep going with that idea. And then we start to think about, okay, what are the connections? And Narragansett Bay is kind of the center of this story, in Rhode Island. So how can we connect this site and contribute to redefine the physical and cultural landscape in Newport and Rhode Island? It's a question, that we have in our minds. Keep going with this. So there's a history of this place, history and slavery, and keep going with this. And the key here is that we intend to commemorate by present and future generations to grapple with the lesson that was articulated by a complex past, as Coretta Scott King reminds us. Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it in every generation. I think this is an important thing that we are trying to unfold here. Let's keep going with this. Now, the key of this is how do we ask questions in public space? James Baldwin suggests that the questions that we ask ourselves begin at least to illuminate the world and are the key to the experience of others. Keep going with that. That's an image of the memorial in France that was mentioned before. Going with this. So, again, with James Baldwin, we must say yes to life and embrace it. It's an affirmation of life, what we intend to do here. Keep going with this. We'll keep moving faster. Again, the idea is this is an instrument for memory. It's not an object. Keep going with this. We think about contemplation, we think about public assembly, and we think about materials, that is wood. And we'll get to three things that are important. The experience of passage, the idea of a vessel, sight as a vessel, and a journey as an experience. Let's keep going with that. So those two are these. And then we see the site. Historic map of Newport, the location of the site, the triangular space there. One more. Keep going with this. Yeah, and we'll see one more. And then we begin to see the history of the site, construction of Newport, one more. And we see the cobblestones on Thames Street that Miss J, many times alluded to. What is to walk the streets? And we'll see how we intend to think about this place as of now. More. That's the site. Now, the Newport Middle Passage is envisioned as a journey. As a journey that will invite visitors to engage in a memorable experience. Next one. More. You see the site, the survey, and then the design of the process. Oops, next one. Yeah. You see, that's what we intend to propose. What we're proposing that we shared with the Sculpture Commission and we share with the kind of open tree, open space commission. And let's see next one. Now you see four things that are important here. A line, as Ms. J alluded to, is the idea that history will be told as a line of history, will be marked, in a way. There's a ground that we call the commemorative ground. Then there's the vessel, which is that form, which is the oval space. And then there's the green buffer that would protect the space from America's Cup, and the streets. Now, next one. You begin to see that. And then all what we call the vessel is constructed in wood. Let's keep going with this. One more. And that's partly the image of this. Now, we'll see the model in a second. I hope you will be able to walk around and see it, But the concept, keep going with this, is that these are vertical wood, very heavy timber, laminated wood that are, on the one hand, express kind of a sense of solid, on the other hand, express the idea of transparency, and you will see it as we continue to go, and you'll see it in the model. The idea, again, a line of history and a vessel that invites conversation, invites contemplation, invites discussion. This The next one over, you see the line of history was also sort of something that we've done in France with where we place histories and where we told these histories and how we do that. And next one over. And this was also something that I've seen in the Kennedy Rose Greenway, Boston, which was very significant for me because it's just a line of history. Keep going, and you will see that. Next one over. You begin to see that there are ways in which we can use public space to tell stories, to invite conversations. And the idea here fundamentally is this will be a gathering place, a place for contemplation, a place that as a void, as an open space will invite people to come and visit. Next one over. And then we look at materials. We're working with our team, in terms of how we build this, how we would build it. Next one over. And you begin to see the idea of laminated wood. This is our team that are doing bridges, in New York State, and they're working with laminated timber. So the idea here is to create a very durable and very powerful experience using wood. For example, they've done vehicular bridges. So I just keep going with that. You'll see the notion of laminated. So we're looking at different species, and that has to do with how we will develop this, both in terms of cost and fabrication and construction. Next one over. We're looking already at techniques of construction, how we will do that, how we'll frame, how we'll anchor this to the ground. Next one over. And we go back to this idea of light, and illumination. Again, the questions that have to do with illuminating the world. That's what we think Newport and this project can help do, which is to illuminate, to bring people together. Next one over. And you begin to see the model, the green buffer, that is also connected to, again, sort of the notion of a green space that will change, according to the seasons. Next one over. You begin to see those ideas with our landscape architects. We're beginning to develop that. Many of you recognize some of these coasts, which are very close here. Those are some other kind of tall grasses to create a sense of buffer. And then you see next one over. And suddenly, something happened in my studio because I left the model there in the morning, and suddenly I went in the afternoon, I saw this. Next one, next one, next one. And what happened was that this is the same orientation that Newport has on that particular site. And suddenly you begin to see that while we think of solid and materials, we're actually looking at light. Light that will illuminate the experience of others. Next one over. Keep going, and we'll get to the end in a sec. So that's partly what we're trying to do again, to create an instrument for memory, a working memorial that will welcome celebrations, public assembly, a forum for social and cultural engagement, a memorial that will deal with storytelling. Again, as Martin Luther King suggested, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And when we begun this meeting today, the Pledge of Allegiance ends with that, justice for all. And in a certain way, partly to make this place visible, to make a story visible in public space is a form of justice. And we're trying to do that with our friends and our team here. And I think if you would like to, if it's possible to stand up for a second and take a look at the model.
No, thank you, Mr. Bonner. We have to continue the meeting, and maybe we can check it out after the meeting's over, if that's okay. But do we have any questions or comments from the council?
Mr. Chair.
Spinnick.
Thank you. I just want to say to Mrs. J, especially, thank you very much, Mrs. J, for everything that you've done in this community to make sure that the lives that have been hidden for so long are visible. You, I don't think, really grasp the way that you've paved the way for so many of us. And as small and as cute as you are, I always say we stand on the shoulders of giants, and they're definitely yours. So I'm really proud to see this start to come into fruition. Thank you to the designer, artist, for your presentation and for your explanation, and for shedding the light on a history that was hidden for so long. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Any questions?
Nope.
I have to ask. So, do we have actual dimensions of what, like, especially height? Because I know that's one thing that's been brought up from people. I know this is put out on some publications. So, what are the dimensions of this? How high is this thing?
May I pass this model? You could take a look. while I.
Sure, yeah.
You put a
Motion to accept.
second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
So you will see the transparency and the openness.
The dimensions in plan are around 30 by 40 feet. The height is 16 feet. The wood elements are in principle around 5 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and 16 feet tall, laminated timber. They're all repetitive, the same. So the kind of construction and the concept is about that idea, sort of repetition and sameness. And while it looks solid, it's totally transparent. And that's partly the response. The height is about 16 feet tall.
So there would only be one of these on the property or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one's white and one's.
No, the reason is that these are more like techniques of making models that we are using 3D printing, to test these models. And then the material is the wood, one that Councillor Carlin has in front of him.
It's been, as I don't know, Council Pinnock has mentioned, it's been just a long haul to get this project to where it's been at, to finally find us. Not you. So this is I can say my own perspective. It's great to finally have a place for it, and now we're actually getting into the actual the part where we can actually see it come to fruition. So I think that's fantastic. But I do have to just make sure that as a entire city that it's gonna fit from a perspective for everyone. I know it means a lot to so many people, and myself included. So I just want to make sure when this is finally approved that it's going to be something that we're all going to be very proud of, and I have no question that that's going to happen. So thank you for all your efforts, Ms. J, and everyone. So,
Mr. Chair.
Council Segal.
I just have a question about the process of this. I mean, on the docket, it says that this is a request for review. So, but it looks like you have a meeting with RIDOT tomorrow. And what is the process that's happening here?
The process to be to go to the Tree and Open Space Commission and the Public Sculpture Commission, and then to City Council, and then to RIDOT for further review.
A review, but not necessarily approval yet, or what?
We understood review to be for approval. And
I'm sorry, say that again? Review for?
The purpose of review would be to consider approval.
Okay.
And understanding earlier in the process that ultimately projects on RIDOT property are reviewed by their team for design.
Sure. I'm just wondering if the RIDOT should be looking at this before us. I'm.
So RIDOT certainly will. RIDOT needs to see the construction plans and determine if they are acceptable from their perspective. The elephant in the room here is that some of you appear to have some concerns about scope, particularly height. And I would opine that nothing can, the group does not have permission to continue with fundraising and construction unless you approve of the design. So that would come in the form of a resolution contingent on RIDOT approval. I think that's the next step. And if there are discussions that need to take place between groups and the Free and Open Space Commission and the Public Sculpture Commission community, this would be the time. This is the moment to do that prior to the commitment to any fundraising and ultimate design.
Okay, so the approval would come to us in the form of a resolution.
Yes, Council. I think you submit one of you submits a resolution, receives co-sponsors that ultimately speak to what you're willing to send to RIDOT, and then it proceeds from there.
Okay. I have a quick, could I ask Julian Bonder a question? I like the design. I think it's very beautiful, and I like the fact that the light goes through it. I'm a little concerned, and just tell me your experience with having these, sort of wall with sections between that allow light, certainly. What is your experience with people hiding in there or people, I mean, we have a very busy downtown and, it's just, I mean, how does that work in your experience with these types of structures?
Thank you for the question. It is an extremely interesting question because at some level, one can say that anytime there is a structure or a sculpture or a public space, there will be questions about how you keep it, how you maintain it, how you use it, what is proper, what is not proper. All of those things are really important. Now, I believe that all of those can be solved and discussed and developed. There are many examples of large public spaces in the world, memorials. The one that we designed in France is around 350 meters, 350 yards long, and is an underground space, that 2 million people visited in more than 12 years. And the city has embraced the challenge, let's say, of such a project, and has adopted the idea that this becomes a pedagogical place, becomes a place for not only tourism, but for learning, for classes and discussion.
But from your experience, would it be a place for people to hide in? Would it be a place for somebody to, I'm throwing this out there.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if maybe fewer of the walls so that people could actually see into it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question. I'm just not,
Look, Your questions are extremely important. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We have probably 100 different models. We tried more separation, less separation, bigger, smaller, taller, curvy, not curvy. We can show you all of that, which is in our boxes, in our toolkit. But one of the things that we discovered is that there's a certain proportion of openness and closeness that happens here that appears to be working very well at many levels. Now, the approach to the project we had before when we were working in Liberty Square was much more enclosed. And we started this phase with the same form, and the model was this.
Right, I remember. Yes.
Much more enclosed.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
One thing that's happened in the design is the spacing of the verticals is open enough to see through and closed enough to keep people from moving through and going out to the other side. That's one of the determinants. And I have a telepathic connection, and so I jump in sometimes.
It's okay.
Right, I think I do, right?
Thank you.
We're brothers.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's a very important point, and I do believe that all of this needs what we call calibration. Basically, this is kind of what we could call a very developed concept, that we hope we would get the support to continue as city manager just mentioned, so that we can get to our next phases, which include, again, fundraising, construction, technologies, all of those things, to make this probably the first of this kind in the United States. And we have supporters, not only our group, but, part of our board or advisor is, Professor Henry Louis Gates, whom you may perhaps know, who's the chairman of, is professor at Harvard, but he's also director of the Hutchins Center. You may have seen in PBS. So he loves this project and he wants to support, he said, the first thing in all the United States to be done in Newport. He's really into it to help us.
Thank you.
Send us a video, share with you. But
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Council Smythe?
I just want to thank you for all your hard work. I know that this is many years in the making. There have been many meetings with the Tree and Open Space from multiple design perspectives. I am happy to write up a resolution to present at our next council meeting requesting council approval and to move forward to present to RIDOT.
Will we know RIDOT's approval or their opinion before that? I just feel that that's important.
We won't. So as the council, you're approving a communication to RIDOT saying, here are our construction plans.
Okay.
But RIDOT can, it's within their prerogative to make changes or make requests on their property.
Okay, thank you.
Please
Mr.
go onto the
Chairman?
podium and stay.
Marion White, and
Thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
20 Old Beach Road. And I just wanted to say that as the project manager on this for this Middle Passage, I have spoken to RIDOT all along the way. They have seen some of this stuff. They really don't want to get too involved. Since it's in your city, they understand that. They want to do like line of sight to your point of the height. So they'll do all of that kind of evaluation, and they will also determine other safety measures
Okay.
and so forth. So
That's good.
but they prefer to do it from more of a technical
Yeah.
point of view.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for, is the more technical.
Councilor Crawley?
Thank you,
So
Mr.
I
Chairman.
invited them to these meetings, but they said they'd rather wait until.
And
Thank
thank you all for the
Thank you.
presentation. Vicky, thank you very much for your hard work on this. And as to at least a certain degree, the face of this project. Though it is honorable that that Councilor Smythe would put forward a resolution like that, we certainly will not have any final outcome from the Rhode Island Department of Transportation or others, I presume, before the first week of November. So I caution that with at least 3 new members of the City Council coming on board as of December 1st, that new council will certainly want to review almost every aspect of what you're putting forward. Let's not rush with such a resolution, though I commend you for the idea.
If no further discussion, we can take a vote on receiving the communication. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
the
very much.
presentation.
Thank you. Okay. Action item 6649, the city manager along with the IT department recommends
Thank you, Mr. Bonner.
the
That's
council
great.
approve the acceptance of a grant award of $262,500 from Rhode Island Emergency Management on behalf of Federal Emergency Management's SLCGP to purchase and implement replacement core switching hardware. This is currently budgeted and I move approval.
Second.
All right, motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6650, the preservation planner within the Department of Planning and Development recommends the award of RFP 2026 FIN 004 to Brewster Thornton Group Architects of Providence, Rhode Island for the completion of the Newport Navy Hospital feasibility study. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
We got a motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6651, the Department of Public Services recommends approval of the contract for restoration of the Rogers High School tennis courts at a not to exceed $390,408. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
A motion and second, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Councilor Carlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a number of questions about this, though I am not anywhere near an expert on tennis court restoration or all things tennis for that matter, but a constituent of mine knows quite a bit and asked me a few questions. So with your permission, council's permission, I'd like to ask Mr. Rochelle, Brian Rochelle, unless there is any other questions from the council, to ask the questions of the council, which we will then ask of the administration regarding the project. Mr. Rochelle brought a number of good questions to my attention, and I am afraid I just could not answer them based on the supporting documents that the city provided. With your permission, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Brian?
Brian Rochelle, 214 Carroll Avenue. Actually, a lot of my questions have been answered based on the documentation you provided, Counselor. It actually looks like a pretty good project. My only, I think, remaining questions are, what's the time frame of this? And just so you know, I'm sort of here, I've spoken with the AD, who could not be here, and the tennis coach, who could not be here tonight. I have a daughter on the tennis team, so I have a bit of an interest here as well. And so the tennis team begins their practices this summer on or about the 17th of August. Is this intended to be done, you know, quick, fast, in a hurry like, or is this something that's going to need to be done and they're going to push these kids somewhere else?
Real quick, Mr. Chairman, Brian, the AD being the athletic director
Correct.
at Rogers High School,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, John Hano. So those are really the questions, is really what the timing is like, and then if it is going to go forward, which based on what I've seen, it certainly makes sense to go forward either in the fall or the spring, because winter construction for this stuff, it doesn't adhere well in cold weather. So,
Mr. Chairman, one more question, Brian, if I might, when does the tennis practice begin for the Rogers students? 17th of August.
For the girls.
Is the current facility, the current court on Old Fort, suitable for use for practice?
No, absolutely
Okay,
not.
thank you.
It really, when they brought the kids outside, when the gym came down and they started using it even all winter, they utilized those tennis courts for everything, and they just took a beating.
Thank you.
Really. So.
All right, can we get an answer for Mr. Rochelle's question about?
I'll defer to Director of Public Services and the timing. Bill, could you help answer the question about timing? I will know while he's walking up that as much as we would like to have the courts available for practice, if they're not suitable for practice, that's
an issue.
That's an issue. So in that sense.
Right, hi, Mr. Riccio.
So Riccio, Director of Public Services. We don't have a defined schedule yet, because what usually happens is after an award by council, we then have to go through all the contract administration and get signatures, et cetera, but we will work, as we would always do, with all parties involved to best accommodate schedules across the board. So I agree, if they're not, 100% usable by the team, it's better to get it done as rapidly as possible to prepare for the next.
Mr. Chair.
Realistically, though, if we were to sign everything and get everything okay tomorrow, what would be the feasibility of getting done by the 17th?
Probably slim to none.
That's what
I don't know off the top of my head, like where the contractor has worked this into his schedule, but that's an easy call we can make.
Yeah, got it. Councilor Egley?
Is there a plan? I mean, I know the director isn't here, but I mean, is there a plan to have them go to Carroll Avenue, or I mean, where the the new courts there, or I mean,
The two brand new courts.
the
that
two
just got
brand new
redone?
courts,
Yeah,
yes,
and they've used those in the past.
or the other Pop Flack.
And that would be, when I talked to the coach, he said he could do some of that summer. It's, they do ladder play to make sure who's going to be number one and two and so forth. That could be done up at alternate courts, but then they would need the city's coordination to restrict those for the time of.
Right.
So we could get off.
Right, we can, that we can do that, yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilor Carlin?
Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Bill, just one counselor asking, but I'm sure my colleagues would agree. Let's give priority, please, for the use of the courts at the Rich. We did spend an enormous amount of money on that, Councilor Segley. Thank you. It was about $740,000 for both the courts, tennis-wise and basketball-wise, a redo about 19 months ago. So, Bill, let's give priority, please, to the kids. Thanks.
Any further questions? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Action item 6652, the Department of Public Services recommends approval of the contract for the purchase and installation of a splash pad and shade structure with ADA accessible sidewalks and fencing for the John Chafee Recreation Area at a not-to-exceed cost of $421,642.73. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Action item 6653, the Department of Public Services recommends approval of a contract for the purchase and installation of a replacement playground at Aquidneck Park for a not-to-exceed cost of $180,072. This is currently budgeted. I move approval. And I know that
Second.
this is going to be very, very happy, make some people happy. So, just
We
saying.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Council
very
Brown.
briefly, let's get first of all, with the explanation as to what's happening there, tell us, if you would, Bill, Director Riccio. I know, my colleagues know, administration knows, but for the public, tell us where Aquidneck Park is and what you're doing there with this award.
This is the playground adjacent to the Edward King House. And this is a complete upgrade of the existing facility due to current conditions. It's been part of our playground CIP for a number of years. And as you know, we try to do one a year. A couple of years ago with some ARPA funds, we were able to execute on 4. So we have a lot throughout the city. So we're trying to make them equal throughout and usable for a complete spectrum of ages.
Appreciate that. It is physically located in the 3rd Ward, but like the prior item at the Chafee Recreation Area, doesn't make a difference. Ward lines don't make a difference here. It's a city. To Councilor Segley's excellent point, it's going to make a lot of people happy, especially the young ones.
Mhm.
Thank you, Bill.
Council Segley?
That's it. I'm good.
Thank you, Bill. Without further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Action item 6654, the Department of Public Services recommends approval of the contract for the purchase of one 2027 Ford Transit cargo van for not to exceed amount of $62,880.50 from McGovern MHQ of Oxford, Massachusetts. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. The Department of Public Services recommends approval of a contract with VHB Inc. of Providence, Rhode Island to provide consultant engineering services for design and construction administration services based on their submitted proposal for the not-to-exceed total amount of $168,400 to redesign the traffic and pedestrian signal and intersection at K Street, Toro Street, and Bellevue Avenue. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6656, the Grants Office within the Department of Resilience and Sustainability recommends the City Council authorize submission of an application to FEMA fiscal year 2024 Flood Mitigation Assistance Program, requesting a not to exceed 300,000 request for support of a voluntary flood audit pilot program for residential homes in Newport's Historic Point neighborhood. The project requires 25% non-federal cost share estimated at not to exceed $100,000, which will be included in the fiscal year 28 CIP. If awarded, grant funding will support a partnership with the Point Association, the Newport Restoration Foundation, and Inshore Corporation to provide homeowners with individual flood risk assessments and resilience recommendations. I move approval.
Second, Mr. Chairman, just a quick point of
Motion
order.
is second. All those in.
Quick point of order.
Discussion? Yes, go ahead. Good.
Thank you. I do have a question about this action item, but I want to note for the Vice Chair that we do need to address action item number 13. I don't think we addressed the
Did I
traffic
skip one?
signal improvement project. Did we?
Yeah, we just did it.
We did. I
Yeah.
thought we were addressing.
We did, yeah,
van
right before that was
fleets.
the Bellevue Avenue.
Beg your pardon. I lost that then. Question I have regarding the FEMA application with respect to the flood audit pilot project in the Point. will we, for the administration, include the entire point, very specifically? Will we include Marsh Street, Poplar Street, Elm Street, all of Second, all of Third, and all of Washington, please?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Director Crane, do you want to add anything?
Teresa Crane, Director of Resilience and Sustainability. The answer is yes.
Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6657, the City of Newport Department of Utilities recommends that a contract for water and wastewater system rate study, public outreach and education with Raftellus Financial Consultants, Charlotte, North Carolina, be amended in accordance with change order number 2. Change order number 2 increases the contract value by $585,168 for a new total contract amount not to exceed $1,394,493. The amendment authorizes Phase 2 implementation services to support establishment of a stormwater fee, changes to Water Pollution Control Division rate structure and rates, billing readiness, public education and outreach, and post and go live support. Staff further recommends that the council chair be authorized to execute the change order and related contract documents. I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes, this is currently
Councilor.
budgeted, Mr. Chair.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Action item 6658, the Grants Office within the Department of Resilience and Sustainability, in collaboration with the Harbors Department, recommends that the City Council authorize acceptance of a $1,433,647 grant from the Division of Marine Fisheries of the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. The grant comes from the fiscal year 25 Boating Infrastructure Grant Program Tier 2 and has been awarded to support construction of the Ann Street Pier expansion project. This is currently budgeted. I move approval.
Second.
All right. Motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Council Carlin.
Thank you to the administration for, first of all, pursuing this. Thank you to the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management for issuing the grant funding to the city. Question, if the $1.3 million grant exceeds the cost of the Ann Street Pier expansion project, I don't know if Director Crane is still here. Mr. Crullo, if we spend more or less, I should say, than the 1.43 million provided by DEM, will we as a city be permitted to use the excess funding for other similar projects within the city, or are we grant restricted on this?
No.
Oh, well, I'll let Mr. Brabante come up and just clarify that.
Oh, no, I do.
Peter Bramante, Grants Officer for the City. And Tristan Hoffman is here from Harbors. But the purposes of the funds are restricted specifically to the Ann Street Pier project, and that project is expected to run much more than the 1.4 million. There is a match of 900,000 to meet it, so it would just go toward that project.
Thank you for the answer. Is the match of 900,000 plus included in the budget by way of the fiscal 27 budget by way of the capital improvement plan?
It is a combination of
Combination of
both
the
the
CIP and bond.
CIP and the bond money.
What's, oh, never mind. Thank you. Good project. Appreciate the work. Also, Mr. Chairman, something we all share despite its boundaries being in the third ward.
Exist.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Moving on to ordinances, motion to amend section 10.56.010 of codified ordinances entitled One-Way Streets Designated Signs Required. This is a second reading to add Bridge Street westbound from Thames Street to America's Cup Avenue. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn as council and convene as Board of License
Second.
Commissioners.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I'd be remiss. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Do you want to say something? Please come up to the podium, please. Yeah. And state your name and address.
Yvonne Alexander Smith, 22 Old Beach Road. I have two proclamations here that were intended for me, and they were to be placed in the Black American history. None of them are signed. Enough or
I'll sign it for you right now.
I would appreciate it.
I'd love to give it autograph.
One you won't have to sign because it's on the back.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Thank you.
With a congratulations.
Yes, wonderful.
This time.
Yes, but copies have to be sent to where.
That's mine.
I recognize it.
I know you did.
We all have to sign it, or is that something?
So,
So there's copies.
so copies we made, we sent, and certified.
We're going to serve, yeah, we make, actually, no, that become my office. Yeah, we'll make copies for you. Do you want, do you want to leave it with us and we can make copies?
They're certified copies.
Sure. We can do that. And we'll get those back to you.
Oh, this is the other one. What's that? It's black.
This is Harry Winters.
Oh.
Yes, they're in.
I know. Yeah, City Elizabeth office too.
Yeah, I mean, you just make copies, certified copies.
Okay.
Right, you can-
No problem.
Want me to hold that?
Waiting long enough.
Yeah.
I got 16 years.
And before we join us, I have to say this. Spectacular blazer color on you, Council Carlin. I love that. That is fantastic. Appreciate it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second, those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.